The only way I could get foreign exchange is to rob Fort Knox or to export. There are some perennial issues the local manufacturing sector face. Top of the line might be the availability of foreign exchange in Trinidad and Tobago. Because when you're a manufacturer in Trinidad, by extension, you're also an exporter. And we don't produce our raw materials in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have to import our raw material. And to import our raw material, you need to earn foreign exchange. So the TTMA, we represent roughly 700 to 750 members. A lot of them are manufacturers, and most of them who are manufacturers are engaged in exporting. So it's important for them that you want to grow your business, you want to grow your operation, but you can't manufacture more to stockpile inventory. You can't manufacture more to sell in Trinidad and Tobago. You need bigger markets. So we advocate for them, we work with them, we take them to trade missions, we take them to trade shows. We bring buyers to come to meet the manufacturers so they could have an opportunity to sell to these buyers in the international market. So it all depends on the needs of the manufacturer. A manufacturer who's not yet exporting, his main forte would probably be to produce a high quality, high standard product for domestic purposes. But once you start thinking about exporting, a number of factors come into play. Certification, quality, standards, those things come into play. So we help them in that regard. We also provide them with opportunities for grant funding in certain avenues to build their capacity with their standards and qualifications and certification for entering certain countries. We help them with export plan, their financing programs. Those are the kind of things we help them with. The micro, small operators will need that kind of help. The medium to bigger size operators, they will have an export team. So they might need different type of help. They will need to understand what are the tariff requirements, what are the trade agreements, where the goods get entered duty-free, what are Incoterms. Those are the kind of things that they would want to know. So the small micro operators, really and truly, we work more with them, handhold them to get them to that level of readiness to export their product. Mistakes in terms of exporting, if that is the question, a lot of them don't do their research. A lot of them feel that what they do, what they produce domestically, they could just transpose that to an export product. They don't understand if you're going into a particular market, you need to understand the cultural dynamics. You need to do your research to understand what are the prerequisites to enter into the market. Sometimes your labeling standard would have to change. Sometimes, understanding the cultural dynamics. I always give an example with a particular company selling crackers to the Latin American country. And crackers in the Latin American country is a squared product. Our product is a circular product, and they were getting problems with just understanding those dynamics. So you need to understand, you need to do your research. That is the mistake a lot of them make. Research in terms of what is the competition on the market that you're going to. Research in terms of understanding do your environmental scan on what are the prerequisites for enter, what are your labeling requirements, what are your packaging requirements, how you position your product in the market, what is the competition is like. So generally the major mistakes I see companies make is that they feel that whatever they're doing in Trinidad and they have a good product, they can just replicate that and export it without doing the prerequisite market intelligence in the country. That's a major mistake they tend to make. From the time you start to think about exporting, your competition is not the local person who you're competing with. You're competing with everybody else from America, from Europe, that wants to go into this market as well. So all of a sudden, you need to understand what your competitors are doing, and you need to be better than them in doing that, right? Also, you need to understand that your market share is so important and critical. Invest money, invest time, go on trade missions, see what it's like. You can't sit down from Trinidad and Tobago and expect to be successfully exporting your product because you have a distributor. You need to go into the market. You need to have an appreciation of what you're facing on that market for yourself. You need to have an appreciation if you need to tweak your taste. You need to tweak something about your product. You can't just get that information from your distributor. So a lot of people feel that they could sit down in Trinidad, produce something in Trinidad, and be successful at exporting. It can't work like that. I would advise anybody who want to have a successful export product, participate in trade missions, participate in trade shows, go outside, understand what the competition, meet the competition, across there. Don't wait until the competition come and meet you on your doorstep.